Okay, so the first video I wanted to film for you guys is a little bit about what my future profession is going to be. I graduated from Clemson University in 2020 during COVID, so that was super fun. But my whole life I've dreamed of working in healthcare, so I chose to go down the PA route, physician assistant. So I have had one interview so far, and I have another one coming up this week. So I wanted to kind of go over some tips that I thought were helpful for applying to PA school as well as interviewing. So yeah, just stay tuned for this video. I'm really excited to show you guys what I'm doing to prepare and some really good resources that you can use to hopefully crush your interview and get accepted on your first try. So the first thing I will say is, even before you hear back from schools, definitely know your why. Why do you want to be a PA? Why is this profession something that you want to do? Which you probably wrote about in your personal statement. So definitely take a look at that. Just kind of pick out some really important things from that you kind of want to show to your interviewers, because the point of the interview is for them to get to know you as a person, to see how you fit into their class, rather than like you don't have to restate your whole application and things like that. You just really need to show them who you are, your personality, and what you can bring to the class that's unique. So definitely think about that before you even hear from your schools, so that you can be on the ball with that. So the next thing I would say is to get this book. Let me go grab that. The Physician Assistant School Interview Guide by Savannah Perry. She has an Instagram page and a blog and a podcast all about being a PA, how to get to be a PA. She has so many resources for people who are interested in this career that can give you some really good insight about what it's like to be a PA, how to get there, things like that. So as soon as I submitted my applications back in June, I ordered this book on Amazon. And to be honest, I wasn't necessarily reading it as soon as I got it in the mail. I kind of waited a little while because I just hadn't heard anything at all from the schools that I applied to. So I was very stressed out, but I was trying to focus on making the most of my time between undergraduate and PA school. So I was able to go on lots of trips and things like that to kind of get my mind off the fact that I hadn't heard anything yet. But I'm also super impatient, so I wasn't going to hear anything right away anyways. So I guess that's just kind of one downfall for me, but definitely exercise patience when you're waiting for your interview call. So basically this book is really helpful because it goes through not only the different types of questions, whether that's traditional interview questions, behavioral questions. If you have an MMI interview, I thankfully do not. I am going to have to write an essay, so that's something that I'll have to do. I'll have to review in this book as well before that time comes. And then it also has a mock interview in the back of the book. So someone in your family, someone at school can go through an actual mock interview with you so that you can get practice, figure out what questions you need to work on, and just give you some honest feedback. There's a rubric and everything. The next thing in this book is a list of over 300 questions that you can practice answering. So when I first started preparing for my interview, I definitely did not have my answers prepared, and you could definitely tell that it took me a second to think on what I wanted to say. So you don't necessarily have to write out your answers to every single question in this book, but it is really helpful to at least think about what you want to say so that you can kind of have that running bullet list in your mind about how you want to answer each question. One really important thing from this book also is learning what they're trying to get out of you with that question. So oftentimes there's like a hidden meaning, not necessarily hidden, but a certain quality or trait that they are trying to bring out of you with those questions. So I would definitely try and understand what the goal of the question is, not get so fixated on the wording of the question. That one's kind of easier said than done for sure. And the next thing I did to prepare for my interviews was to do a mock interview from Savannah Perry's business. So it's called the PA Platform, and you can go onto her website and schedule a mock interview. It costs $127 to do the interview, and you interview with someone who's a practicing PA. So they'll go through the questions with you. They get a background of your application, what schools you're interviewing with, and they will ask you questions for about 30 minutes. And then as soon as you're done, they will go through each and every question with you to just kind of go over what you were saying, what the question's looking for, how you can improve on each thing within your interview. And they also send you their notes that they've taken during the session. So I found that super helpful because I really thought I was prepared. I wasn't. I was not prepared. I was not ready. So naturally, I was very, very, very stressed after that. But having that baseline original feedback was really helpful in allowing me to know how to improve, know what to prepare for, where I was needing improvement and where I was doing well. And then, that just kind of ties into the book as well. You can kind of pick and choose parts of the book that you feel like you need to work on the most if you're short on time. So another thing that I would say to really prepare for your interview is to just practice as much as you can, whether that's with people who are in the medical field, who are not in the medical field, your random best friend that is in your town. Have her interview you, and you can even videotape it so that you can watch it back and see, I just touched my neck or I touched my face, and you want to be aware of that so that when you go into the interview, you don't distract the interviewer from what you're saying based on your habits of saying you don't want to be saying those things so that you can get to the real meat of your answer. In terms of what to wear, I would definitely say to do business professional. This is not the time to really show your fashion sense necessarily. You can still kind of put your own personal spin on it, but I would definitely stay on the safe side for this because especially if you're in person, that's going to really be a factor when it comes to how easily you can move about the interview, especially if you have a situational type of thing. I personally wore a black and white pattern dress with a blazer over it, but my interviews are virtual, so they only saw from here up. So I made sure that my hair was straightened. I had minimal but good makeup, kind of like what I'm doing right now. I just have some foundation and concealer, some mascara. I filled in my eyebrows, I think. And then my hair was straight and I wore my glasses. So the more studious you can look, the better, I think, because they're gonna know that you're serious, you're a professional, and you're ready to do this. Because in PA school, you're not just a student, you are a professional, and the way you interact with your classmates as well as the staff of the school is going to be indicative of how you interact with your preceptors on rotations as well as your future employer as a practicing PA. So I think that is about all I can think of to tell you guys for preparing for your interview. If I have anything else, I'll definitely add it to this video, but like I said, this is one of my first videos, so it might not be the best, but we are definitely working to improve. If you found this helpful, definitely make sure you leave a comment, or if you have any questions, definitely reach out to me. You can find me on Instagram, you can find my blog, and on YouTube. So definitely feel free to reach out at any time, and I look forward to making more videos for you guys.